this video, we'll be taking a look at the Kashyyyk Clone Trooper for the 30th anniversary line. I do think he was repacked as well into the Legacy collection in the blue and white package. I don't recall exactly because this one I got in the 30th anniversary line and I didn't really look for him after that. Plus, he wasn't one that I really found too often in the wild. This one I did. I actually got him at Walmart on clearance for $5, I think, at the time. And it was during the time when Hasbro was phasing out what was left of the 30th anniversary line and transitioning over into the Legacy collection. And I distinctively recall seeing him and then like Battle Damage Darth Vader and all the other Force Unleashed action figures on clearance for $5 at Walmart at the time. If only I could go back in time and purchase all those, I would have. I'm trying to think what else there was. I think Commander Gree may have been there as well. And so many of the other 30th anniversary ones, there was a lot of hidden gems on that shelf. And of course, at the time, you're much younger, so you only buy one or two action figures at a time. And this was one of the ones I ended up getting at that particular moment. And I'm happy I did. He's very nice for what he is. He's not perfect. There is one major flaw about him that I'll point out, and that he's a little short compared to most clone troopers. I know this is the jump trooper here, but as you can see, there's definitely a huge difference between the two, and I don't think there really should be that much of a difference. I think the clones are typically in Imperial units are 5 feet 11 inches, somewhere around that range, so that means they're about 70 centimeters or so, and so they should be a pretty robust height and robust build. And as you can see, the jump trooper here is, while the Kashyyyk trooper is a little bit more on the scrawny side and much shorter. But still, the proportions on it I think are pretty good. I'm personally not that bothered by the height difference. I think he's perfect for what he is. But I know a lot of people do have that complaint, and I will admit, sometimes when I have him lined up with the rest of my clones, it's like, oh yeah, he's a little smaller compared to the rest of them. And of course, clones should be the exact same all around. But sometimes it's nice to have that uniqueness. We did get the 41st Elite clone. That's exactly what he is. Previously in the Saga collection line, which was an exact repaint of the Scout Trooper in camo colors, and I do have that figure as well, and I'll touch on him in a future review, and then I'll be sure to do a comparison between this guy and that guy, but I'll save that for that video. So let's just go ahead and look at him a little closer. So like I said, I think the proportions and the sculpting work on this are very nice. Looks exactly like how they are depicted in the movie. Very nice camo green he has. And I'm glad that Hasbro made an all-new sculpt for this. Pretty consistent with the green throughout. Of course, some grays and a touch of brown. It's all his pouches. And I'm pretty sure this, I'll just go ahead and note this now, I'm pretty sure that's the same exact body that's used for this guy here. And of course, this is the extremely rare Kashyyyk comic pack. I don't know if I'm going to open this yet. I may someday though. And as you can see, I think they pretty much look about the same. There might be some differences between the two. Of course, the head is different, but I think the body is the exact same. So maybe someday I'll do a comparison between the two there. In terms of the articulation, he does have a ball joint at the head, and he does have that helmet where it does flip up to reveal his face. So the helmet is technically articulated there, and it's a pretty good clone trooper likeness. A lot different than what we normally get. Stays into place pretty good. He does have a hinge at the shoulder, of course hinged elbows, swivel a little bit past swivel wrists. I would almost say swivel gloves. Not quite forearms, but not quite wrists either, somewhere in between. He does have a joint at the torso. He has swivel hips, and hinged knees and hinged ankles. So pretty good articulation all around. In terms of weapons and accessories, I'm pretty sure he just comes with the standard 15 rifle here. Nothing much I can really say about it. Fortunately, it's the better one where it's a lot more of a hardy plastic, holds up better, doesn't get all bent out of shape and all that. I will say about this guy as well is he stands really good on his own. He has a very nice footprint, and I don't have to worry about him falling over or anything like that. So even if you don't have stands for him, it's not the end of the world because he stands pretty good on his own. And he does have his signature stand, Revenge of the Sith, Kashyyyk Trooper. This is the 41st Elite. And unfortunately, it just doesn't want to stay on there. I did mention in the Commander Gree video that usually these are the stands I use, and the peg must be slightly larger than what the Hasbro ones have, so now they don't fit very good. I could always do on this side of the foot, but I don't really want to expand that hole in this foot any more than what it is. And here he is with his counterpart, Commander Gree. As you can see, there are some differences between the two in terms of his build and the height. I'm trying to think, that's pretty much all I can really tell you about the Kashyyyk Trooper here. It's a very nice action figure. It's basic for what it is, though. I mean, he is what he is. You either really want him or you don't. In terms of being an action figure, I think he's fantastic. Is he one of the best clone troopers that Hasbro's ever produced? I would say he's in the top half, in the top tier. It's definitely not the best because of the height, obviously, but it's pretty close up there. I'm happy for what he is. I'm glad to have him in my collection. I've had him ever since 2008 as well. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I got Commander Gree first, and then I got the Kashyyyk Trooper here second. But they were really close to one another, within weeks apart. I'm trying to think when it was specifically. It may have been August, September of 2008, somewhere in that range. So I've had them for about 15 years now at this point, which is incredible, and I cherish both of them. So obviously that means I would recommend them for your collection. Would I recommend you army build him? Sure. I don't think he's the cheapest clone around, but he's certainly nowhere near outrageously expensive. You might be able to army build them for like $15 each, $20. Of course, it depends if you get them used or brand new, but still, I would say it's relatively within that range, which is not the worst to today's standards. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this review. Stay tuned for plenty more in the future. There will always be lots more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate your support. And check out some of the links in the description as well. As always, thanks for watching.